colleagues, my name is Senator Ben Murray Bruce, representing Bayelsa East. It gives me great pleasure to read the lead debate on a bill for an act to phase out petrol vehicles in 2035 and introduce electric cars, SB 726. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, permit me to lead this debate on this all-important bill. The bill was first read on the floor of the hallowed chambers on the 10th of April 2019. Distinguished colleagues, I chose to present this bill for two major reasons. First is that combustion engine cars have caused and continue to cause several deaths in our country through uncontrolled pollution. Secondly, we have been spending over 1 trillion naira annually subsidizing fuel in this country. By introducing electric cars, fuel subsidy will be automatically eliminated, and those funds will be channeled into building infrastructure and educating our people. Virtually all industrialized nations have set a date when petrol cars will be banned, and Nigeria will be making history by becoming the first in Africa to ban petrol cars in 2035, as proposed by this bill. The prominent features of an electric car is that it is rechargeable. No fuel or gas is required. No pollution. It also provides quite smooth operation, stronger acceleration, and requires less maintenance than internal combustion engines. To charge your electric cars, all the filling stations will be replaced with solar charging stations. Thankfully, this country is blessed with sunlight 365 days in a year and will empower these solar stations. America is no longer building refineries because they know that gasoline is going the way of the VCR. Electric cars are outselling petrol cars, as witnessed in Norway just a few weeks ago. It makes more sense to build Nigeria's biggest power plant than her biggest refinery. Recently, Rome has placed ban on electric cars. The Italian capital is one of the most traffic-clogged cities in the world. But the damage done by these engines is threatening the thousands of historic monuments in that country. As you may know, Rome has no major industries, so nearly all of the air pollution in the Italian capital is caused by motor vehicles. Car pollution is one of the major causes of global warming. Cars and trucks emit carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, which contribute to global warming pollution. Greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, which cause worldwide temperature to rise. Burning excessive amounts of fossil fuels such as gasoline and diesel will cause and continue and cause a lot of harm. In a recent publication in an annual State of Global Air report published by the Health Effect Institute, air quality in Nigeria and at least 10 other countries is among the deadliest anywhere in the world. Electric cars are smart, comfortable, cheaper to maintain, and most importantly, environmentally friendly. Distinguished colleagues, I ask you to support this bill, not only as a way of checking rising deaths in a country caused by increasing pollution, as well as cutting the cost of oil subsidy in Nigeria, but also force us to tackle our biggest challenge to industrialization, which is electricity. Thank you very much.
Yes, and to Barau Jibrin.
I congratulate my friend and brother, Senator Ben Bruce Murray, for his uncommon common sense. And I want to thank him for the very brilliant ideas he has exhibited in the lead debate. But what is not common in the sense, looking at the lead debate, is the need for legislation for us to introduce electric cars in Nigeria. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, if we look back in history, we remember that days gone by, we are using donkeys and bicycles for transportation. We never required any legislation to start using cars. And even when we started using cars, there was need for more people to move around. So Keke Napep came into our scene. There was no law that introduced it. I believe the issue of vehicles is an ancillary to the provisions of Section 41 that gives us freedom of movement. So it's inalienable. It is already provided for in our constitution. So we don't require any law to deal with it. So I believe, sir, that Senator Ben Bruce may consider taking back the bill and do further consultations. And I know that he's a very wise man. And he will listen to this argument. And more importantly, Mr. President, in the economic sense, Nigeria is an oil-producing country. We cannot sit here as a parliament to be encouraging something that will hurt our own economy. It should be our responsibility to do everything to frustrate electric cars so that we'll be able to sell our oil and gas. So once more, I would like to advise my brother and friend to have a rethink and do further consultations. That is my contribution.
President North. Mr. President, it's a fact that electric cars have a lot of advantages. They are friendly to the environment, and they are friendly to the cause of our health in a way that we can bring, or we can take away the hazards associated with cars that use diesel and petrol. But Mr. President, making it mandatory that everyone should resort to using electric cars at a given date, I think it's not something that is feasible, it's not something that is doable. We have to look at the individual networks, the network of individual Nigerians. Can we be able to do this? Of course, the answer is no. And we all know the importance of a car to every family, not only in Nigeria, but to every individual in the world. It is important to have a vehicle so that you can convey your family, you can do all those things that are needed to transport you to your work, to any other place that you need to go in running your life. Now, to say that you cannot drive a vehicle, you cannot own a vehicle unless it is an electric car, I think it's something that will not work. To me, it is important we look at this reason and allow time to come when every Nigerian can afford to have one. But to say that in Nigeria we should create a law, we should enact a law that will force every Nigerian to do away with a petrol car or a diesel car and make it mandatory for everyone to own an electric car is not something that is doable. You are now saying that, look, you have a car, put it aside. Don't use the car again. Go and look for money and buy an electric car. This is not something that is doable. I sympathize with the mover of the motion, with the sponsor of the bill, with the sponsor of the bill. It has very good intendments, but the fact is the economic perspective of it. Not everybody has that economic wherewithal to do away with his car and go and buy an electric car. So please, let's put this on hold and allow time to allow every Nigerian, once we are all ready, we all have the money to buy electric car, then we can go out and buy the cars. But for now, let's put this on hold. I say submit.
You know, I can never quarrel with my leaders and my friends. However, I want some of my colleagues to close their eyes and dream they're in the 21st century. That's all. You cannot function as if you're in the dark ages. I will withdraw the bill, but I want you to think. In a few years' time, let me finish. In a few years' time, can you let me finish? Senator Marafa, let me finish. In a few years' time, combustion engine cars will not be manufactured in the world anymore. They're going to stop all manufacturing, whether you like it or not. Okay, that is fine. Wait. Can you let me finish? Oh, Mr. President, I apologize. Can you let me finish? Now, these cars will not be manufactured. I drive an electric car in Abuja. I own one for 5 years. I charge it with solar power. It has never had a problem for 5 years. I own a Tesla. And I own a Tesla and I drive a Tesla, and it's an amazing car. It is cheaper to manufacture, it is cheaper to maintain, and it is great for our country. For the sake of my colleagues, I will withdraw the bill. You do not belong in the 21st century, and I understand. I will withdraw the bill, and I hope you can improve as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sentiment really agreed to withdraw the bill. So we'll take that bill as withdrawn. And then your point of order is noted. Leader of the Senate.